Country CEO interview was so great. He only spoke. He never gave me a chance to speak, and I was very happy.
That's the best thing that
So
can
in
happen.
an interview, guys, if somebody is speaking a lot, don't try to interrupt them. Let them speak. इसका मतलब है they are happy with you, but they are telling their story to you. Just listen to it. I've invested in BMW. BMW you have not invested in. From the time it comes out of the showroom, it is 30% down, right? So I'm not criticizing. I also drive a Mercedes. That's fine. I'm not criticizing that don't buy. But when you buy that, understand it is not investment. It is consumption. India actually, we B school or engineering college students, we are spoiled. We have this practice of companies coming into our campus and recruiting us. Everywhere else across the world, it doesn't happen. What you call misnomer that I want to thrash for all of you is finance is not equal to maths. Finance is a lot of maths, but finance is not a maths. So you can live your life without knowing maths, but you cannot live your life without knowing finance.
So from Deutsche, definitely economic recession hit you, and from Deutsche you moved. But you moved to a company which a lot of B school students aspire to go to, which is Goldman Sachs, right? What was the Goldman Sachs offer? How did it land to you? And why did you lap it up?
So Goldman Sachs offer actually came at a very interesting time. It was 2009. And again, I would say God has been very kind to me. Again and again, I would say this. I do not take full credit for whatever has happened. That time, the derivatives market, the way we were working, it got killed very badly. So it is like you're doing some business and you get disrupted very, very badly, right? Just like what happened to Nokia phones after the smartphones came. So the derivatives market got killed. At that time, the business shrunk, teams also shrunk. Luckily, I didn't get fired at that time. I survived. So this at that time, and the lure of India market is that all these new names, every time they want to keep coming into India. There's Amazon, there's Apple, everybody wants to come into India. We are 140 crore Indians. We may not buy anything, but still we are 140 crores. So this bank was trying to make an entry, and I got a call from a headhunter, and I thought, this is a great thing, and I actually took it very seriously at that time because Deutsche Bank was in such a bad shape because of all the derivatives fiasco that globally there was talks that it could actually crash anytime.
Right.
After Lehman, they were the next in the line. So I took it very seriously to the extent that I prepared very, very seriously for the interviews, and Goldman Sachs, they will take so many interviews that you will get tired. So their whole strategy is to check for consistency. So for example, Paul has called me for this talk. He will call me 15 times and see, my videos. कि उसमें तो ये बोला था, अभी ये बोला. So they 15 or 20 people took my interviews from all across the world. Every morning and evening, I used to be at their office giving interviews. And my hiring manager said, I do not know when this process will end. If you don't have patience, you can give up. But this process can go on for many months. So I did about 18 interviews. That was my biggest training in public speaking. I'm able to talk to you because of that now. So the whole thing later, which I came to know was whatever my key USP for them was consistency. Because typically when people hire you for new business, they will want to ask, what can you do for us? What are your connects? What is your strategy for this business? So they just thought over the 2 months period, this guy has, said the same story. So that is the power of storytelling also, I will say.
Right, correct. So you were in something called fixed income sales, right? You were doing that for Goldman Sachs as well. Were you meeting very wealthy people and advising them?
My job there was to basically advise to the companies or corporates to manage the risks which were associated with these particular asset classes. For example, Adani or Vedanta has a mine in Australia from which they are producing copper. And they know that next 3 months they will produce, say, 10,000 tons of copper. And today they feel the copper price is very good. So they can come to me and I can fix their future production price for them using my bank's financial jugglery.
Got it. Pretty clear. Okay. So from Goldman Sachs, there was another career jump that you did where you spent a considerable amount of time. I think this was the company where you spent the most amount of years in, and that was
9 years.
Yeah. So that was ANZ. ANZ is a New Zealand-based company, right?
So ANZ is Australia and New Zealand
Australia,
bank.
New Zealand, yeah.
And they are headquarters in Australia and New Zealand actually both.
So how did you land up there? You're like, I mean, so far that I've heard your stories, you have a very interesting hiring story at least. Yeah. So were there like 15, 20 interviews here also?
No,
Or
no.
it was
So
easy?
ANZ was exactly opposite of that. It was very funny. What happened is that so Goldman Sachs, the big thing about the large investment banks or these companies is they जितने वो जल्दीबाजी में आते हैं उतने जल्दीबाजी में चले भी जाते हैं. So these guys, after 2 years of trying to get the banking license and do some business, they realized that India is a very tough market. So we knew that they are going to now exit, and our team, at least the fixed income team, will get fired. So at that time again, good thing India market ANZ came back into the country again. They had left in 2000, so they were feeling left out because they missed the best 10 years of the market from 2000 to 2010. So then I was again lucky to get a call, and they were interviewing people in the market. So they hired me for the treasury function at the start of the branch. With ANZ, I had only I think 2 interviews. One was by my hiring manager, who was the head of markets, and other interview was from the country CEO. That country CEO interview was so great. He only spoke. He never gave me a chance to speak, and I was very happy.
That's the best thing that
So
can
in
happen.
an interview, guys, if somebody is speaking a lot, don't try to interrupt them. Let them speak. इसका मतलब है they are happy with you, but they are telling their story to you. Just listen to it.
Career tip 101. Okay. So what was your role like in ANZ, if I have to ask you, what problem were you solving? Because now, companies also know that you have a very defined career graph that you have, right? You have worked with banks all your life. You have worked with Deutsche, you have worked with Goldman Sachs. And do you think that when hirings of such caliber happens for a senior position, these things that you have worked on matters?
Yeah. So this was obviously a hiring which was very role specific and function specific. So in the treasury function, my role was very similar to what I was doing earlier with Deutsche. It was basically covering large corporates. Here the good thing was that since the team was starting from scratch, so I got a chance to hire my own team, and I actually hired the full team, and they worked for me. Most of them were with me. So we set up the team in place, and we grew the business from scratch, which is acquiring new clients, understanding what needs they have from our side, how we can meet their requirements, risk management and all that.
They are not operational in India anymore, or they are?
No, ANZ is operational in India, but
They
they have actually shrunk in size. Last one odd years, they have shrunk in size quite a bit.
Right. When do you understand, when do you know that it's the right time to leave a company?
So see, right time to leave a company, somebody is already laughing. So it is from 2 factors. One is from the company perspective, and one is from your perspective. So sometimes it may happen that the company may be doing very well, but you may not see a future over there, or you feel some things are happening because of which, boss, abhi, let me just get out of here. So that is one. And the other is also when you're working in a global company, you have to monitor how they are doing globally, what are the actions they are taking otherwise. For example, ANZ, before I left last year, it was a planned separation. It was not a pure resignation, I'll be honest. But it was that we could see, in a way, it was coming. That their strategic focus on the country like India had reduced. They had actually shut down few of the smaller countries in Asia, which they had actually entered earlier with big fanfare. So from both perspectives, you have to evaluate. In today's world, I don't think I need to tell anyone that don't be wedded to a job. Unlike my father's generation, when people, whether government sector or private sector, people used to work for 30, 35 years at one place. Now that is not the case. But at the same time, do not leave your job if you face the normal challenges, because challenges will be there everywhere. If you leave your job for a normal challenge, then your CV will look very, topsy-turvy. You will not have a large stint to show for yourself. Face the normal challenges, but if you feel there are things which are out of your control, some global strategy is changing, some market dynamics are changing. If you are working for Nokia and till the last day you say, no, this phone will work.
Or your company is doing a massive scam that you got to know.
Yeah. So other thing is, as I said, on the ethical side, please do not compromise. You may find yourself in a situation where you see certain things. Best thing in India, whistleblower laws are very, very weak. Just get the hell out of there. Don't try to change the whole thing. That is the advice which your parents will give. I am giving you on behalf of your parents.
Nice. Ashutosh, you promised that you are going to tell people that what is the buzzword now, right? At your time, it was IIT, IIM. What is it now?
So now it is a combination of technology and management, and more tilting towards tech side. So you have some tech skills or qualifications, work on that. I'll give you my example. After my break last year from the banking job, I actually have kind of transitioned more on the tech side now. So I started because I used to hear this AI, ML, data analytics. What are these things? So first thing I did that I enrolled on Coursera on many of these courses, and I did at least first hand. I will not become a AI coder or expert, but I need to understand what is artificial intelligence, how it is going to impact the industry, how it is going to impact my life. So always now the new world, next 10 years is a transition from the man to machine. You are lucky that you are in the transition. Next generation will not even see that. They will only see the machine. The machine will serve them food and they will eat. So please develop on the tech side as well and on the management side as well. The pure play management, pure MBA of 1980s, 90s and 2000s, that is not going to be in vogue a big time. It is basically we are going back to early 50s and 60s where only the tech guys used to be managers. So now if you're doing an MBA, well and good, please reinforce that with your technical skills also.
Right, and that's what we have also understood, and that's how we introduced Altuni as well, like some 2 years back. This was also a pandemic brainchild, and so far there are 2,000 alumni members, 2,000 plus students have taken these courses. If you are interested, you can check Altuni out. What is your idea? I mean, how did you come up with the idea of Stay Touch, and why do you think that's a necessity at this point in time where we are living? We are living in a digital world, and staying in touch, honestly, was the biggest problem in the last 2 years, also for us who were working, all of us were working from home, right? So what was the need, and how did you think that you have to fill this gap?
So the idea here is that if you see the interactions that happen when you meet people, first thing that you struggle with is how to exchange the contacts. So this app basically automates that process. You just bring your phones together and your contact details get exchanged. You can decide what details you want to change, you want to exchange. You want to exchange professional profile, personal profile, social profile, and for companies as well. For companies, even today, we are using the Stone Age technology of physical visiting cards. So what we propose is that we eliminate the physical visiting cards completely. And we get all the interactions that their employees are having directly into the company database.
Superb. Oh, all the best with, Stay Touch. This year, we have themed the Conversations Cafe as the $1 million skill, right? It's not just about the known paths that people have traveled that is going to, take them to the highest pedestal, I would say, in their careers, right? Right now, they have to upskill themselves regularly. So according to you, as you mentioned, focus on tech has to be on the prime, categories of things that people should think about. What is that $1 million skill that you could bank on for the next decade to come?
So I would not want to give a very particular answer, but the general answer I would give is that the skill that will save you not only 10 years, but next whatever years to come is to upskill yourself. Always today you talk about AI or data analytics or whatever. Always you have to marry your interest, what you are good at, what you like, versus what skill is in demand in today's world.
How do we know that this is in demand, but there are so many things that are in demand, right? Or maybe if they are not in demand, they are made to feel like that they are in demand, right? So how do we make that decision?
So making that decision again is not easy. The thing which I will go back to what the previous speaker said is you have to read a lot. Keep your eyes and ears open. Read the newspapers. How many of you would have read today's newspaper? So unless you keep your eyes and ears open and you choose what you want to consume rather than YouTube throwing something at you, because when I see YouTube as a logged in user, I see very, very same kind of things again and again and again. So please, the only solution to this is to keep your eyes and ears open. Be very careful about what content you consume, choose it carefully, and be open to diverse things. That is the only way you will be able to figure out what is happening in the society, what is the next thing in vogue. Or a lot of times, you might feel that you are late to the party or something is overdone. Still, you can adopt it. Still, it may not be too late.
Great, lovely. I'm sure you guys must also have a few questions for him. I'm going to open the house for questions.
Hello, my name is Kopal and I'm from Delhi, and thank you, sir, for the insightful session. So my question is that I haven't done anything in finance, but I want to do something in it after my MBA. So what can I do to have roles in finance? Because currently my CV won't show anything that a finance company would want to take me. So what would be your advice for these 2 years that I can now do?
So when you say you want to do something in finance, it is from your personal growth perspective or from career perspective?
Career person.
And what are you doing currently?
I'm a food technologist and I work with Sodexo as a food technologist safety in the safety domain.
Okay, and you're saying next 2 years you want to do something in finance?
Yes.
Are you already getting into a MBA or school?
Yes, this year.
Which school are you getting into?
Sir, results are not yet out, but I have given interview for ALI.
Okay, great. So see, then it is very structured for you. When you join your MBA or your B school course, look out for the courses in finance and accounting. Accounting is also, people feel it may or may not be needed, but accounting, if you do basic accounting, it will help you in your personal life as well. If you want to invest in a company, you want to just have a cursory look at a company's accounts and all that. So choose your courses in finance. Biggest thing which you do is, one big thing which I didn't cover is that when I talk about my career in finance, the macroeconomics is a big part of that. Because macroeconomics is another skill which it affects all of us. So yesterday there was a RBI policy announcement. It impacts all of your lives. But 99% of us will not understand what the governor spoke about or what he talked about or how it impacts our life. So same thing, please start reading Economic Times. That is the biggest, not only for her, for everyone. It impacts your life on an everyday basis. And every day small gain or loss can add up to a big thing in your life, right? And then once you complete your first year and you have taken these courses in finance, then you decide whether you want to take some more electives. And again, finance is a very big field. It is not a small field, just like medicine. Medicine, it is not as diverse as medicine, but it is a diverse field. In finance, you have accounting, you have corporate finance, all the parts of banking that we talked about, investment banking, investments, private equity, venture capital, angel funding, all these are little different areas. Read some good books on macroeconomics, so that will help you in developing. If you see YouTube today, it is replete with the self-appointed gurus who are giving all kind of investment advice and everything. First step is please avoid that. Second is read some good books, good sources. I have books which I can explain for her and for you and for everybody else is this book which recently came, which is called Psychology of Investing. It is a bestseller book for whatever reason. It's a great book. It is written in very simple manner. Then if you read that book, you will realize finance is not equal to maths. Then few books like people talk about Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad doesn't tell you anything about finance as such, but it gives you some basic idea about life, that what is the difference between consumption items and investment items. Whenever you are spending a penny from your pocket, just think whether it is getting into investment or consumption and try to strike a balance. Lot of things in life we feel they are investments, but they're actually consumption. People say, I've invested in BMW. BMW you have not invested in. From the time it comes out of the showroom, it is 30% down, right? So I'm not criticizing. I also drive a Mercedes, that's fine. I'm not criticizing that don't buy. But when you buy that, understand it is not investment, it is consumption. You're just buying it to feel happy, maybe to show off to other people, or maybe to talk at this kind of stage. So
somebody did woe to that. यार इनका परेल में घर है, ये Mercedes चला सकते हैं. This is fine. Okay, next question. Yeah, there.
Yeah, hi sir. Well, you already highlighted the importance of tech right now. And a lot of people in house will be moving from engineering background towards management. Personally speaking, I'll be going into information management. I have a direct question. Is this a prudent choice anymore to moving from tech development or R&D background towards management?
See, it is a prudent choice if you marry these two well.
Okay.
Right? So if earlier people like me who used to move to finance, we used to divorce the tech side. So I'm a mechanical engineer, but my mechanical engineering is only limited to solving some issues at home. Kabhi gas kyun nahi chal raha hai? Or, kahi keel thokni hai, those kind of things. But if you are retaining, and you're in information technology, right?
Information management.
You're going into information management.
So I'm in data science right now, moving to information management.
So your choice of information management actually gels very well with your experience in data science, right? They are two completely related fields.
Overlapping, yeah.
So if you are able to leverage what you have and add on, don't give up what you have already. Have you worked also after your data science? Have you worked somewhere earlier?
Yes, I'm currently working.
Where are you working?
In a fintech, Bajaj Finserv Direct Limited.
Great. So you're working for a great company in any case. If you stay there, you will make a lot of money with your stock options. So what I'm telling is what you have done so far and what you're planning to do, they gel together very well. Retain what you have done, build on that, and what you learn afresh, that then you makes a better package. So it is a good time. It is not a bad time.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Atharv. and I'm currently pursuing economics and bachelor's, like bachelor's in economics. Sorry. Like most of us were told in schools and in my college also that whatever a investment banker earns, mostly it's of a commission, and their working hours are like 80 to 100 hours per week. To what extent that is correct?
If you talk about commission, then the whole world is working on commission, because whichever way you look at the whole supply chain, you know, the modern economy, the cycle that works. You're an economic student, so you will know. At every stage, you add some value to something, and you charge some money for that. You can call it premium, you can call it commission, you can call it value addition, whatever it is. The government is working on commission, which is called tax, right? So no qualms to commission. I'm very happy to earn commission. As long as somebody give me 100 crores of commission, I'm very happy to take it. So commission part is fine. Second part, your question is working 80 to 100 hours is, again, 80 to 100 hours working can be bad in the long run. Sometimes, whether you are a startup founder or a investment banker, even a startup founder, I think, is working more than that. So there's nothing wrong with working for 80 to 100 hours. But having said that, depends on what is your life situation, what is your life stage. If you ask a person like me today to work for 100 hours, I will definitely not want to work. I will not survive for long working for 100 hours. But when I started my careers, then working for 80 hours, yes, maybe that is okay. That is fine. So it is not a bad thing, depends on your situation. If you're being forced to do it, if you're a bonded labor, then it is bad. So investment banks, what happens typically is the initial years, the associates or the new recruits are treated like foot soldiers, right? In Russia, you see the wars. So the foot soldiers, they go in the front. And they have to do all the grunt work, dirty work, write big reports, all these things. But slowly, as you become more and more senior, the working hours can become more manageable. But
And-
initial few years, you have to be prepared to give that time.
And you own a Mercedes.
Hi. So my question was, right now the organizations are shifting towards a flatter organization, and you do not particularly have a well-defined JD. It's like open-ended to you. So don't you think after a very structured job description, now coming to an open-ended, it's very vague what to do, what not to do, and also in financial sector itself. So what to do and what not to do, how to define that for yourself?
So it's a great question. What I will say is that even when you have a structured job description, even then things can be very vague. In large companies, the well-defined job description still stays. It doesn't go away. But for a day-to-day perspective, please do what is expected from you from your boss's perspective. Do not say that the company chairman has given this vision and I have to do this. No. For you, your boss is the chairman. Listen to that person.
Hi, sir. I would just like to add something more to what my friend Prachwal said right here. For a technical role, moving from a development to going into information management, after an MBA, the companies that hire you, they are definitely for the managerial roles, right? So upskilling your technical development skills, maybe coding, maybe some other technologies, how would they help you? Because ideally, like, let's say we go into Amazon for a prod man role, they would rather have a tech lead who's an engineer for like 4 or 5 years to develop a product, right? How will those skills that we've already had for the last 2 years in the field help us post-management, post-MBA degree?
So what I understand is nowadays a lot of these companies are hiring from B schools also for quasi-technical roles, not purely managerial roles. For example, companies, the tech companies, the Googles and the Facebooks of the world, they actually do not have a lot of pure managerial roles, like earlier was there in financial world and all that. So again, it depends on your specific background, what you have done, and then you are also free to look for roles in that particular area which works for you.
I get what you're saying. So again, one more add-on to that. In that case, like let's say there are certain companies which might not be coming to our B schools. We might be all from renowned B schools, but there might be certain companies where you want to work and they're not coming there. So what would be an ideal choice? Like sitting in the placements, getting what you get after you finish your 2-year course, or try from outside directly for virtual
So
placements?
that's a great question actually, and I would say that in India actually we B school or engineering college students, we are spoiled. We have this practice of companies coming into our campus and recruiting us. Everywhere else across the world it doesn't happen. So this is because this is a kind of a discriminatory practice. They are supposed to give ads everywhere to recruit people. They cannot go to a small place and recruit. So I would say campus placement, treat it as a bonus. Whatever you can get in the campus placement to the best of your skill, whatever you get, please take that as a security, because we are Indian people. हमें 3 backup तो चाहिए हर चीज़ का. So एक backup के लिए आप campus तो definitely you should take whatever you are getting. At the same time, please try from outside if you have some dream company. For example, I gave the example of Deutsche Bank, which didn't come to my campus, but it was always in my mind that somehow, if I get into this, it will be great for me. So by way of networking, by way of your application, by using their website, whatever, please try to get in where you want to get in.
Thank you very much, Ashutosh, for being so candid and sharing your story with us. I hope that you guys have found this interesting. I hope that people who are watching this video get something out of this amazing journey. Thank you very much, Ashutosh, again, and let's
Thank
have
you
a big
guys.
round of
Thank you very
applause.
much. Thank you.